Hi, this is Greg Dyer with Conscious Body Movement. I wanted to talk a little bit today about being in the moment and just, all of the things that we can choose to do with our moment. A lot of us spend a lot of, our time, our moments, in the past worrying about or, guilty about something that we may have done or may not have done, the regret or, the loss or whatever it is that we're stuck in, and taking us away from the moment that we're in. If we're spending our time worrying or, in the guilt mode of something that we may or may not have done, the regret, that's the past. I mean, is there anything that you can change about what you did back then, right? So why are we worrying about it? Why are you spending the energy? Why do we spend the energy and all of that time in the moment thinking about what may have, or, what we did in the past? Can't change it. We don't own it anymore. What are you going to do now? Either that or we're spending so much time worried about the future and what might be happening. Am I going to have enough of this, or will I be able to pay for that, or my kids' tuitions, or the trip that we're going on, can we make it, or am I going to end up homeless, or whatever it might be, the things that we that may happen down the road but most likely won't. In that vein, I want you guys to think about this. When have those things ever actually come true? The things that you made up in your mind, the story that you made up about what could happen, has any of that ever come true, right? So if we're spending our time worrying about it instead of being in the moment, is that a waste of your imagination, or is that a contribution to you to be worrying about that stuff that's coming up? And I'm not saying that we don't plan and we don't set targets and things to achieve, to make sure that we don't end up in that deep hole or end up homeless or whatever it is. I'm just saying, if we're spending our time worrying about it, worrying about what might happen, are we really using our time productively? Are we really using that moment for what it's used, or what it's for us? In that moment to create, to be able to, to set up, the next moments to come along, so that we can get to those targets that we want to get to, and avoid the homelessness, or avoid the outlandish bills that we might end up with, or whatever it is that we're looking to, to try to get away from, that we're creating in our minds. So the moment, this is where we can find our bliss. This is where that all happens, being in the moment. And every time that I've practiced it, every time that I've been in the moment, and I'm spending many, many more moments in the moment now, this is where I found the bliss. This is where I found the fun. And this is where I tend to live from now, right here, right now. And what I find there is the chance to set up everything that I'm getting to. All the awarenesses that are available to me for the path that I'm on, they're all in the moment. They're not in the projected futures, are not in my past. They're right here in this moment. The chance to create from those awarenesses, or right here in this moment. To be honest with you, the thing that I find that could be the most worrisome, if you're going to worry about anything, is that when we don't act upon those awarenesses, when we find ourselves afraid to follow that bliss, dive into what it is that you're feeling in your heart, what it is that's coming to you that's like, wow, you know what, I really want to do that. Well, I can't do that because of this, or the judgment that may be coming, or whatever might happen. Just dive into it and do it and see what happens. Being in the moment. What if you just practice that a little bit and see what happens? I'm Greg Dyer, Birthday Suit Tailor. This is Conscious Body Movement. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gives you something, and let me know down below, if your thoughts on this whole thing about being in the moment. Talk to you soon.